Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Spooky Sunday video. Today's video is a little bit more light-hearted. It's just crazy, weird facts that you may not have known about the Vampire Diaries. Again, this is a little series that I've started. I did a whole load on The Walking Dead. We ranked villains, we did crazy facts, and we did why they ruined the show, maybe? Or what went wrong with The Walking Dead, something like that. So if you haven't watched those, go and watch them. They're really, really good. Some of my favourite videos I've ever filmed. I love talking about my favourite TV shows. And The Walking Dead is my most favourite TV show. Then it's The Vampire Diaries. Although Vampire Diaries gives me different vibes, it makes me feel comfy. It's like a comfort show. But we are opening the first Vampire Diaries episode today, and we are just going to do random trivia facts about the Vampire Diaries. Before I get into today's video, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. I would love to have you stick around. We post videos every single Sunday. So make sure you're here. Make sure you stay here, alright? Subscribe. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on into today's video. So the first one is that Paul Wesley originally auditioned to be Damon in the Vampire Diaries before getting his original role. There was also two other actors that also auditioned to be Damon, and they were Michael Treviano and Zach Roig. Can you imagine anyone else being Damon other than Ian Somerhalder? I literally cannot imagine someone else more perfect for the role, especially Paul Wesley. There is no way Paul Wesley would have pulled off Damon, no offense, but he absolutely killed being Stefan. I can't imagine him being Damon. So glad that the show didn't cast any of those as Damon other than Ian Somerhalder, but I actually thought that was insane. Like, can you imagine how different the Vampire Diaries would be if Ian Somerhalder wasn't in it? So the next fact is that all the episodes in season 8 are actually named quotes from the first season. So I'm going to read some of them to you now. We have "The next time I hurt somebody, it could be you." We have history together." "The simple intimacy of the near touch." "Nostalgia's a bitch." "You made a choice to be good." "What are you?" "The lies will catch up to you." "It's been a hell of a ride." "We're planning a June wedding." And "I was feeling epic." How cool is that? I actually didn't know that fact. Some people have such an eye for these things. It's actually insane. The next one is that Nina Dobrev was born in Bulgaria and speaks Bulgaria, and that's the reason why Catherine speaks Bulgarian, because apparently in the books Catherine is actually German. So they decided to change it to Bulgarian in the TV show because Nina Dobrev speaks Bulgarian. Pretty cool fact. The next fact is that the casting for Klaus took so long that his introduction actually had to be delayed, and to replace Klaus in the episodes that he was supposed to be in, the character of Elijah was created. So Elijah was a series created character, and the only Michelson from the books that is also in the show is Klaus. That is crazy. I can't imagine the show without Elijah or any of the other siblings, and the fact that the only Michelson was Klaus. There's so many facts that you learn about TV shows and you're like, I actually can't even imagine how much of a different show it would have been if they didn't exist in it, and how just one tiny tweak could derail every good thing about the show, because Elijah is a top tier character. If they hadn't taken so long to find Klaus, he would never have been created, and we wouldn't have Elijah Michelson. Wild. So Damon and Stefan were supposed to have different last names in the TV show. They originally had it as Whitmore, and then they decided to keep it as Salvatore, which obviously matches their original names in the books. I love Salvatore. I feel like Salvatore just suits them and their vibe so much better than Whitmore. And isn't Whitmore the college? So what would they have done with that season? Like the whole college season, if their last name was Whitmore. I'm so glad that they changed it back to Salvatore. I just don't feel like Stefan Whitmore, Damon Whitmore. I just feel like it sounds really weird. The next one is that co-creator and executive producer Kevin Williamson originally turned down the Vampire Diaries pitch. And I'm going to read you a quote right now. And it says, quote, "A long, long time ago, Alloy had brought the books to my office, saying, 'What about a movie?' I basically didn't read the books," Williamson told The Hollywood Reporter. "I said no on the premise that the idea just seemed, in the wake of Twilight, that it shouldn't be the direction I take. Then, years later, the CW came to me with it." That was the hardest quote I've ever had to read in my life, and I still kind of feel like none of it makes sense, but what I'm going to infer from it is that basically they brought it to him, they said, "What about a movie?" and he was like, no, because Twilight and all that, I just don't want to be that vibe. And then years later, the CW came to him and said, "What about a TV show?" and then presented the Vampire Diaries, and he was like, yes, is what I can take from that quote. But my God, was that the hardest quote I've ever had to read in my entire life. Thank God for the CW, because if the Vampire Diaries never was created, I would be so sad. The next fact is that Nina Dobrev apparently did really bad in her audition, and again I've got another quote, so please pray for me that it's easy to read, but it says, quote, "The first impression of Nina is that she didn't make an impression. The Vampire Diaries co-creator and executive producer Julie Plec told Entertainment Weekly none of us remembered seeing her for the first time. Dobrev admitted she was sick during her initial audition and later sent them a new audition tape to make up for it. They loved her." Is that normal? I didn't know that you could do that when you're auditioning for things. I thought you kind of just get one chance and then you keep going through stages until you get cast, I guess. I don't know. Maybe fate. Maybe she was always supposed to be part of that role and that's why she was given another chance. Honestly, Slay though, like, I can't imagine anyone else being Elena and Catherine. Like, Nina Dobrev is an insane actress to be able to do one TV show with two completely different characters and absolutely slay both of them. The next fact is that fans were apparently really mad when Nina Dobrev got cast as Elena because in the books, Elena looks a lot different. I've heard a lot of people say that Elena looked like Caroline, the same sort of vibe as Caroline. I haven't really read the books, I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, I've only really watched the TV show, but I have heard that she looked different. Light hair, light eyes. Caroline looked different and so did Bonnie. So they changed it all up a bit. For me, I don't see it any other way because I've only ever watched the TV show, so I just feel like it's top tier casting. I guess if you read the book, I can see why you would be mad. But yeah, apparently fans were really mad when they originally cast Nina Dobrev as Elena. The next fact is that Ian Somerhalder apparently also nearly ruined his audition tape, and I've got another quote for you here, and it says, quote, "Whether it was too much coffee, that B12 shot I gave myself, who knows? I bombed it," Ian Somerhalder said during a panel. "I had to go back and retest. I went in and did it, and oddly enough, ended up getting the call. But it was after 10 days of virtual hell. Thank God Ian Somerhalder got cast as Damon." Like, the fact that so many other actors auditioned for Damon and he like ruined his first audition and almost ruined being cast as Damon is insane. Again, the universe was like, Nina needs to be Elena, Ian needs to be Damon, and this is the way the universe will spin in harmony. The next fact is there was a lot of romantic relationships on and off set, and I'm going to read you just a straight up extraction from this article. I'll have all the sources linked down below, by the way, but I don't want to miss anyone off, so I'm just going to read it straight from here. But it says, "Besides the obvious love connection that happened between Nina and Ian, the marriage and divorce between Paul and Tori, there were a lot of romances going down on set." So Paul and Tori, basically Paul Wesley and Tori is the actress that played Meredith Fell. They were married and they divorced. But also Candace King dated Zach Roig, which is Matt, and obviously Caroline. And then you have Stephen R. McQueen, which is Jeremy Gilbert, and he is now married to the phrase Joe King. Paul Wesley dated Phoebe Tonkin, who played Haley, and he's also married to Ian's D. Raymond. And Joseph Morgan, who plays Klaus, met Persia White, who plays Abby Bennett, during season 3, and they got married in 2014. So loads of people actually married, dated, and everything in this TV show, which is wild. I think I also saw that Ian Somerhalder dated the actress that played Anna. There was loads of them. I feel like there's way more than what that list says. The next fact, which I think is really interesting, is that Nina Dobrev, who plays Elena, is younger than Stephen, who plays Jeremy Gilbert. So Elena's literally playing the oldest sister, but she's actually younger than him. To be honest, a lot of them are playing teenagers and they don't look like teenagers, but that's the way the world works. A lot of adults play teenagers in TV shows and movies. So apparently Elena Gilbert and Catherine Pierce's roles were reversed, and in the books Elena is the more popular mean girl type and Catherine is introduced as a naive and innocent girl, and in the series their personalities are reversed and switched, which so much better. Like, I can't imagine Catherine being an innocent girl. Catherine works being the way she is in the TV show. I feel like that was a good direction for the writers to go in, to switch their personalities so much better. I wonder if any of you disagree with me. I'm sure you might if you're one of the people that read the books, but I feel like that's a way better way to have them. But I'm going to go ahead and end today's video here. I'm going to film and script a whole video with ranking the Vampire Diaries villains, and I need to start working on my American Horror Stories part of this series, which I think is going to take me a little while, so just be aware that this series of TV shows is probably going to be on and off for a little bit, but I'm excited. I love talking about TV shows. If there's any TV shows you want me to talk about, please let me know. I really want to do a video on Ghost Adventures. I did one on Most Haunted. If you haven't watched that already, please go and watch that. Again, one of my favourite videos I've ever filmed. I'll put it in the iCard up here so you can go and see it. But I really want to do one on Ghost Adventures, and I was thinking maybe Unsolved Mysteries, but I don't know about that yet. We'll see. And definitely BuzzFeed Unsolved. I fucking love BuzzFeed Unsolved. But I'm going to go ahead and end today's video here. Hope you liked it. If you did, please remember to subscribe. I would love to keep you around. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye.